I am Master Life Coach Mechelle Kennedy, Chief Curator for Embrace You Training Solutions. And here today I have one of our soon to be certified life coaches, Coach Katrina, and we wanted to come before you to do a live coaching session. Lots of people have heard of life coaching but doesn't know what it is or exactly what it looks like. So she has come ready and committed to sharing in this life coaching session. Katrina, tell the people a little bit about you.
Well, you know my name, I'm Katrina. Just started to actually even know what coaching was. For a while, I've been thinking that I've been coaching and I've been doing mentoring and counseling. So for me personally, it's changed my life. I'm not the same person that I was in January. I have grown. I have a genuine smile. I love people, and I want to be able to help people by encouraging them, connecting to them, giving them what I have, what I've learned through this program. So I'm going to tell you thank you, because my life will never be the same. And I'm trying not to tear up, y'all.
You're welcome. It is what we've been called to do.
Yeah.
So, Katrina, what brings you to coaching today?
Today, I had a long week. Trying, well, I'm not going to say trying. I've learned how to say no.
Okay.
I've learned how to let go and when to walk away. And this week was very challenging for me because I've had to do that this week. I've had to say no. I've had to agree with what God was saying when it was time to just disconnect. And that wasn't easy. When you're a people's pleaser, and when you learn that about yourself, you're afraid to say no because you want everybody to be always happy with the decisions that you make, even if it puts you under the bus. But this week, I was like, no, I have to choose me. I have to learn how to say no and know that it's okay, especially if my intentions are well, and be okay with the outcome. So that's what brings me to coaching today. I really had to embrace myself and learn how to say no and disconnect.
So, at what point did you become what was first and important?
I'm going to go back from week 1. I remember when we was having a transparent moment, you was doing a live interaction with one of the young ladies, and the way that she was so open and free to be just to transition, to be somebody different, to be better, to be healed, to be whole. To me, that was a moment where it was like, wow, that's what I want, that's what I need. And that set the tone for me. It changed my perspective because coming in, I still had that wall up. But after I seen her, being able to just be free, and then the way that you reacted and responded to it, it was like no judgment. It was just truly love, like, okay, let's keep going. And I was like, this is what I want for me. And I want to be able to give that to others.
As a coach, we don't have the right to stand in a place of judgment for the lives of other people because oftentimes we don't realize that whenever people do things, it's always for a good reason.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be a good reason to us.
That's right.
It only has to be a good reason to them. And it doesn't have to be a long-term good reason because at the moment that you're doing it, it sounds good.
It do.
Even some of your worst decisions in the moment sounds good. So who are we to judge the way that people live their lives?
That's right.
Because it's not ours to live. So you mentioned that you are a people pleaser. Where do you think that comes from?
Not having a voice for myself. I think when I was more so younger, just always having that power over you to take away your voice, how you feel, what you think was okay, what you think was good and not good, or what you like and don't like. So I began to adjust around that, saying, okay, well, I have to make sure decisions that I make in the way that I live is pleasing to everybody else. Because if it's not, then I'm losing. I'm not doing the right thing because that's what I was taught. Not verbally, but just that's what I was shown. So I just feel like I took it the wrong way though. Not being able to just embrace people and love them the way that I genuinely wanted to do, but it was just, again, losing myself, not having a voice for myself, being afraid to speak up for myself. So I'm going to do, if you want me, all right, I'll do that. And then it made me be a doormat. And that wasn't good for me or the other people, because I believe that when you are making decisions based off what everybody else thinks and not putting your own perspective in it,
Right.
where you going? You're not doing it. You're not giving them anything. There's no truth in that. It's a false identity. It's not really who you are. So then, how are you really affecting and impacting other people then?
Right.
So just giving. It's like with my kids, just giving them what they want because I feel like that's just what they want or need. When I know as a parent, sometimes I have to make a decision based off. You might not agree with it right now.
Right.
But I know it's gonna be better for you. So it's like what I was explaining with my kids. Sometimes I can't always tell them yes. I can't always give them what they want that pleases them in the way that they think is best. As a parent, like with my mom, she did things and said things in a way that to me, I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense. But had she always gave in to what I wanted, what I said, I don't think I would be the woman that I am today. Her discipline and her putting things in perspective, even if it did not match what I thought was best, it helped me.
So when it comes to you learning to be a people pleaser, you learning to allow people to have more free reign in your life than they should, who did you see do that? Like, that sounds like a learned behavior. Who did you learn that from?
My dad. My dad. My dad is very humble. He's I don't never see him or never heard him say no. I barely see him do anything that pleases or makes him happy. It's always as long as everyone else is happy, which is not a bad thing. But what about you?
Yeah.
What makes you happy? What about what you like? It was always putting down, what his own personal beliefs was or whatever he wanted to make sure everybody else was okay. And I didn't even realize that I was, getting that characteristic or that type of behavior from him, because I would think not growing up in the same house, it's not possible, but it is, because I was still around him. I was still seeing these things. And even now as an adult though, I talk to him and he's like, you know what, I do. So for once, he actually made a decision. My dad has always been working. I moved to Jacksonville, I think I was 12. And he hadn't been to Jacksonville ever since I've been here. So I've always had to go back to Fort Lauderdale to see him. So this particular time, it was last year, he actually said, you know what, I'm coming to Jacksonville to spend time with my daughter and my grandkids. And I'm going to take off work. And I'm going to do what I want to do at this moment. And it was so defiant because that was the time where I needed him the most. And to see him break that cycle, I knew I was able to.
There are times that traumas and undealt with hurt and pain that our parents don't handle, not because they don't want to, the tools and resources were not available. Like, we were told, you don't talk about what goes on in my house. We were told that, you keep your business to yourself. And they did it with good intention, but then it caused secret traumas to get transferred from one generation to the other. And in this season that we're in, I believe that the Lord is breaking cycles. Things that has had not just us bound, but our families bound. Now, when you think about your children, have you displayed the people pleasing to them that it may have been transferred?
I did, especially when they were younger, because I wasn't in that place to come to realization that I was, acting out in that character. So yes, I did. They've seen me over many a times. I always choose everyone else and not myself. And now, I redirect that behavior. Like, look, no, we don't have to do it this way because now I know better. I have to teach you to do something different. And my son is so much like me. So he's definitely the one, that will do everything to make everybody else happy and just not, as long as everybody else happy, I'm all right. And that's like, no, that's not okay. But because he's seen mama do it. Mm-hmm. So I've definitely can say that I've, reverted that same thing to them. And now I'm having to just redirect a lot of things that I found out that is coming from generational reasons. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to be like that, and I don't want my kids to be like that. Mm-hmm. I want them to know that there's boundaries, and I want them to understand that it's okay to say no.
It is amazing once you make that discovery. Whenever people go to Alcoholics Anonymous, like the discovery that they have to make is that they are an alcoholic. Yes. When we figure out and understand and come to the realization that we're broken, that we have made mistakes, we have set wrong expectations, we've created wrong habits for our children, being able to acknowledge it so that you can break the cycle. I know for me and my kids, one of the cycles I've been able to redirect is the way we deal with money. Bad money habits get passed down from generation to generation, just like good money habits. People who have good money habits, they teach their children those. People who have bad money habits teach their children those. So making a conscious decision that what I've shown you, I don't want you to see. Oftentimes I encourage people to know that every day you have breath in your body is another opportunity to change the narrative. We can't change what has happened, but we absolutely have the ability to change what will happen. So what are some things that you feel you can do to recreate the narrative in the lives before your children?
Exactly what you just said. First, the fact that I was able to acknowledge it, knowing that I needed to change some things. Now that I'm knowing that, I'm going to give you an example of what I do literally at home now. I have open discussions with my kids. We do journaling. If it's something that they want to say to me to where they're like, okay, well, I don't know how mama going to take this. So let me just write this in my journal and then I'm going to pass it along to her. That's what I give them. I give them that right to be able to voice how they feel in a respectful way and not make them afraid, to say what they like, what they think is best for them. Because the truth of the matter is, even though I'm their mom, it is some things that they know that works for them that I may not know about. And I have to be able to be open to that and embrace it. And with me learning how to do that at home, it's teaching me how to be like that with everybody else, not so opinionated. Learning how to back away from that and just be open to what do you want? What do you feel? What you think is important? I wasn't asked those type of questions.
Yeah. There are spaces that we are in that are not conducive for us to be able to become vocal. A lot of times I found that people who have become people pleasers, it is because at some point their voice has been taken. Whether it was something somebody said, something somebody did, whether it was someone telling you, shut up sometime, you talk too much, making you more conscious about what you say and stealing so your voice.
That's so true. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Even in through a child, from a kid, teenager, young adult, God just have a way of using me. I have to say things that everybody else is not willing to say. And when you're a person of, when God decides to use you in that era, it's a lot of times you're not going to have everybody okay. They're not going to like what you're saying. And then at the end of the day, I had to come into realization, you know what, I am not only just belittling myself and allowing them to take away my voice, but I'm disobeying God because I'm afraid to say what it is that He has me to say because I'm worried about how they're going to feel, or are they going to receive it, or even with my family. Oftentimes I might notice or want to speak up, and I know that I have to, but I wouldn't because of fear, because that voice was taken from me. So when you have to learn how to speak up again for yourself, it's a trial. It's an exercise. What I'm doing for it is I'm writing. I'm finding my voice through writing. I'm definitely finding my voice through writing. And the funny thing about it, I used to write poems.
Wow.
All the time. And in middle school, me and my friends used to do this book where we would exchange the books, and we would have notes in there, and we would have poems, whatever it is that who we are. We just put it in that book. And that was my way of venting. I don't even know if they noticed some of the things that I would write. But that was really my outlet because I didn't have anyone else to talk to. So I would just write those poems and give them to my friends. And, to them, it was, oh, my God, that was good. It's cool. But it was my cry. It was my voice. That's all I knew. That was the only way that I was given to speak.
So now that you have discovered that no is a complete sentence, that no needs no explanation,
Yes.
and that every yes you give to someone else is a no you give to you.
Right.
So what do you think will be in it for you to continue exercising your voice?
Being free. Being free. That is freedom. Because I love my voice. I love who I am. You know what I mean? And I didn't feel that way. And it's not even because I didn't love me. It was because I was still, again, worried about people and their opinions. And when I set that aside, it was like, I'm good at poetry. I know how to sing. I know how to write. Like, this is who I am. This is my voice. Why am I hiding it? Why am I afraid to give this to the world if this is what God has blessed me with? So benefiting from it, freedom. One word, I'm free.
Listen, it ain't nothing like the freedom. When I said ain't nothing like it,
It's not.
there is nothing like it. When it comes to being free, things are going to come up because they always do. Things are going to come that's going to try and pull you back into that bondage. So what is your plan for success when those things come up to try to bind your voice?
The one thing that I have now, for one, I have support and I have an outlet. So if I get to that point, I don't have to worry about trying to deal with it on my own. I have people now that I know I can go to and say, I feel like this is happening, or I'm getting to this place. And I trust them enough to know, okay, we ain't gonna let you get to that place, girl. Let me help you pull on out of that place. So to have that outlet, that support, that helps me. That's really like, it's vital to me staying free. Affirmations. I've learned, I have little decaps on my wall now. I have sticky notes on my desk. I write these things so that I can see it, so that I can recite it, so that it can become life around me. And I didn't do that before. Just simple stuff that you overlook that can make your whole life so much better.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, I could have been doing this. But it was all because of the people that I'm connected to now that allowed me to be open to that world again. So,
and it's funny that you say that, because the Bible says that we are overcomers by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony.
That's right.
So if your words are taken,
You bound.
you
don't have no
bound.
freedom.
You can't overcome.
Yes.
Because it's your words that allow you
Yeah.
to overcome. It's like affirmations. Those are words.
Yeah.
Things you write down that you manifest, those are words.
And I've heard people so many times say, just open your mouth and speak. Just declare it. And I was so bound because I didn't have my voice no more. And it was like people would just say it like it was easy. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it. So being able to now, reciprocate that and to write it down first, see it, then declare it, that was kind of my strategy of overcoming. And I feel so good. Like, I'm so free. I'm so free. Like, I don't even know, it's like a new world for me. It's a new life that I've never lived. This is a place that I've never seen before. It's a part of God that I've never even experienced. So when I say life changing, I mean it. It's life changing. Those affirmations, gave me my voice back. It gave me my voice back. That journaling, it gave me my voice back.
That's big. That's big. So what are some of your affirmations that you have up?
One thing is I had to deal with low self-esteem before.
Okay.
So I have one thing up and it's big. I wrote it in big bold letters and I put it in yellow. That's my favorite color. But I put, I am beautiful.
Yes.
Beautifully and wonderfully made by God. Another thing, I love Jeremiah 29:11.
Oh, yes.
I know the plans that I have for you. And those two right there alone has literally pulled me out of some dark places.
Yes.
That I didn't even know I was in. To be able to get into a place to where I can declare, God, you know the plans of my life. Ain't nothing going wrong. This is a part of your plan. It's gonna evolve. It's gonna make sense after a while. So even going through the moments where I did lose my voice, I wouldn't know how to regain it and get that power back had I not been to that place. So I don't even regret it, even in that moment. I don't.
So may I make a suggestion
Yes.
of an affirmation? One that I found that was big for me
Okay.
is my sticky note that says, I am enough.
Yeah.
When I discovered that I was enough, it began to build my confidence.
Yeah.
It began to build my self-esteem, because when you know that everything you're meant to be, you already are, that you are self-sufficient and complete, that you are whole,
Yeah.
that you are not minimized by someone else's glory or someone else's pretty picture. When you know you are enough, you stop comparing you to others.
Yeah.
You stop comparing your gifts to others, because it's not about the years, it's about the yield.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, that's
not
good.
about the income, it's about the impact.
Right.
So when you start knowing and understanding that you already have what you need, then it becomes another level of freedom.
I agree.
So it becomes, not only am I okay with telling you no, I'm okay with telling you no and showing you no.
Yes.
Because I know I'm enough.
Right. I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
So I want to challenge you to put that up on with your affirmations,
Okay.
and begin to tell yourself every day, multiple times a day, that I am enough. And let's see the change that's made.
I will do that. I definitely will.
Good.
I need to write that down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
Let me write this down for you. Katrina, thank you again for coming to coaching. I hope I've said something and shared something with you that will help you to continue on your journey.
You have. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.